So this is just a quick tutorial about clipping masks. So I have my shape here, and the clipping mask you want to do, it's the last thing you do at the very end when you've like kind of organized all of your shapes and your values and things like that. So the clipping mask will clip to whatever path that you've set. So I'm just going to create a box, and I'm going to fill this box with this pattern that I've just created. I'm going to make some changes to my pattern just to give you an idea of, and so you'll input your textures and your value within this space. So you'll input your textures and value, making sure that there's information in all the corners. But these are your shapes. So these are the shapes that you've carved out in your compositions. They could also be lines and things like that. In order to fill these, you can absolutely just give it a texture and then go through changing the texture, but you can also use what's called a clipping mask. So this is my shape on the top, and let's make it interesting. Let's even give it, so it works really well too when you have like a cutout. So what I did is I cut out just that center. It's still one shape. So I can use this as a clipping mask. I select it, making sure that the shape that I want to clip is on the top, and I go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, and it will create a clipping mask and a specific shape using that shape that I've selected. So your clipping mask, if you use a density, will be transparent. But how you can qualify some of the goals of the assignment is just by duplicating the shape. So I just held down Option, I duplicated the shape, and I gave it a value. So now I'm doing both density and value at the same time. I can also make another change to this actual texture by giving that a value. I can even go in and use the blending tool to create a series of values between the two. And then if I do Object, Expand, so let me go back a step. I just changed the value of the top one, and then I'm going to use the blending tool, double click, specific steps. Let's say I want to work with just this particular value or just this particular set of lines for my density or my texture. I'll actually tell it to give me 7 values. And that way I know I'm going to have at least 7 values in here. And then I'm going to do Object, Expand, and then Object, Ungroup. Now each one of these I can make a pattern. And then I can duplicate this shape, apply the different value, scale it, and then duplicate it again, maybe give it a solid, and then I'm gonna make this shape, put the shape in the back. So that I can see my density on top. And then I'll take these two and make sure I go Object, Group. Same thing here, Object, Group, so that they move together. And now I have some variations in value and density using the clipping mask. So I'm just using the shortcut to move this one to the back. Okay, so you can do some really fun things. And then I probably would just try something different. Okay, and say that doesn't work. Try something different. But now I have my clipping mask. Now I have my clipping mask and I have my shapes and I have my density and I'm moving through that space. Working with shape and density and Pathfinder. So all things that we've done before. So you have your object. Clipping mask will clip to whatever shape that you select. Object, clipping mask, make. And then if you want to work a little differently, you're like, oh, I want to make change, you can go here, or you can also go here, clipping mask, release, and then go back to what you had before. So another type of non-destructive editing, just this time with Illustrator.